italics, you have the amount of detail, or the areas where stone changes to forest. Or since there are not many recurring patterns, the amount of detail also there where one's look would not directly go to. Or the amount of detail, randomness, and the mistakes within the world of the image. So it's very particular kinds of visual aesthetics that they are looking at when trying to assess which kind of an image it is. And in a way, the first indexical category is the ideas that they have regarding the effects of photographic equipment, their knowledge of using photographic technologies and creating particular kinds of visualizations. So you see motion blur, for example, or distortion due to a wide-angle lens, or a flattened reality depicted with a television, or when taken with a long exposure, or depicted with a small image sensor. So again, trying to find ways of justifying or making a decision. Is it computer generated or taken from the camera? And then the ideas of what kinds of scenes exist out there, what they think that this world has, the world that we're living in, what does it convey? So one saying, I've seen once this kind of water like this. I've taken once at the sea a similar kind of image myself. Isn't this a picture taken by me when flying over the Alps to Milan in autumn 2007? Or someone saying, well, this weather phenomenon seems very characteristic for the Fell Highlands. I guess this kind of a scene could exist. And last but not least, the most abstract of the categories is the kind of ideas they associate with photographs as a particular kind of, as particular kinds of images. So saying that photographs contain a lot of light, or they are believable, they feel real. Or saying in contrast to machines, I don't believe that a machine can create that much light. There's a kind of natural light, the image feels natural. So when we quantitatively went through the answers, when just going through these justifications which they gave, I thought, well, they really have a very well-developed eye, and they are very, very good in making distinctions, and they have very good notions for making these distinctions. But when doing the quantitative analysis, we showed it was very clear that, that basically they could not distinguish one image from the other. They said it's difficult, but they can do it. They have specific ideas of how to do it, but they could not. So, so then we started to ask, what does this actually mean? That professionals were used to seeing images in their day-to-day workings, and obviously it's a constructed setting because we showed them the images they looked at the computer screen. So they were unable to make the distinctions correctly, and it approximated guesswork. So it's the function's results are in that sense very solid. But they shared surprisingly similar criteria for understanding what they are looking at. So they had very clear ideas of what photography and what photographs are. And that's the reason for stressing, actually, when trying to understand how particular people understand images and what they think particular images are, to focus on communities of looking who are bound by shared professional practice. So try to understand how come do these people understand particular images to be the way they are, instead of saying what are particular images. And there's a concept called skilled vision, which has been developed in that sense, trying to understand how does particular kind of skilled vision come about. And the second important point of this is that people we studied follow a conventional understanding of photography, but it's very much at odds with recent technical developments. And I think it's important to stress that we need to reframe our understanding of what photographs and what photography are with its digitization and computerization. And I've suggested elsewhere in another text published last year that if we take a processional understanding of photography, we might look, for example, at the left-hand image, which is a minimal spanning tree and information visualization based on surface markings made with light, based on photographs taken with cameras, but visualized in a very different way than what we consider photos to be. And many professional photojournalists and photo editors, they tell me the picture on the left-hand side is not a photograph because it doesn't match with the expectation of what a photograph is. But I increasingly say that it is a photograph. It is based on surface markings we make with light. It's based on several images taken together and analyzed in a particular way, not in order to construct an image that we look at as a particular kind of photograph, but as an image that gives us specific kind of information that is of interest. And here on the left-hand side, it's a collection of about 20,000 pictures of a colleague, of his own snapshot photographs. And what was done with the collection was to look always at people who appear in the images, and if they appear together, you get a link with them, and these links are visualized as a social network. And if you think about that kind of an image, it's obviously a very manipulated image. And then we get back to the question, well, what does manipulation of images actually mean? And what's the relation between manipulation of images and the authenticity of images? And there's a very good argument made by Jens Schröter, who's a professor for media studies at the University of Bonn, who has looked at scientific imaging practices and claims that if you look at scientific imaging, for example, in physics or in other so-called hard sciences, the fact that the images are manipulated is a guarantee for their authenticity. They have to be manipulated. If they are not manipulated, you can't trust the images themselves. So we have to think about manipulation not in technical and technological terms only, but basically in terms of the kinds of communities of practice that we try to foster who create a particular kind of vision, a particular way of looking. So it's important to focus on the impact of technical development, but not to focus on technology alone when assessing trustworthiness of images. I personally find that it's very useful to look at the communities of looking bound by shared professional practice, as I suggested with the study of photojournalists. And if we find out that our ways of seeing are at odds with recent developments, we also have to focus on novel ways of looking. And I think that's a nice future challenge for us.
Господа, ваши вопросы. Сложно, может быть, если хотите, я могу что-то резюмировать. Нет, не надо, да?
Вы поняли, да, о чем речь в целом хотела?
Достоверность фотографии, да, насколько с ней манипулировали, как она после этого достойна ли называться фотографией. Вот у меня вопрос, а у самого выступающего какие критерии в отличие фотографии от изображения?
В отличие фотографии от изображения,
ну, да, насколько она могла быть изменена для того, чтобы продолжать считаться фотографией?